Okay, this is the Madas MP1 paper N, question 4. This appears to be a binomial expansion question. So find the first four terms in ascending powers of x of the binomial expansion 1 plus 2x all to the power 7. Okay, so using the binomial expansion, this is going to be 7, choose 0. We're getting this 7 from the power up here, and the first term's always a 0 down there. And then it will be this term, 1 to the power 7. And then technically we have a 2x to the power 0 going on here, but that's just going to be 1, so we can get rid of that. Plus 7 choose 1 of 1 to the 6 times by 2 to 2x to the power 1, plus 7 choose 2 of 1 to the 5 times by 2x all squared, plus 7 choose 3 of 1 to the 4 times by 2x cubed. It's important to see here that the powers of each terms, if you add the powers, they always equal n up here, and also that the power of the second term always matches the bottom bit of the combinatorial. Okay, so 7 choose 0 on your calculator should just be 1. 1 to the 7 is just 1, and 2x to the 0 is 1, so the first term is clearly going to be 1. Next term, 7 choose 1 on your calculator is 7, because how many ways are there of picking one thing from 7 objects? And that's just 7. You just choose any one of them, the 1 in 7 chance. 1 to the 6 is 1, and 2x to the 1 is 2x, so 2x times 7 will give a 14x. 7 choose 2 will be 7 factorial, which is 7 times 6 times 5 and times the rest, over 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1, times by 7 minus 2, which is 5 factorial, so 7 times 4 and so on. The 5 and that will cancel, and 7 times 6 is 42, but divided by 2 down here is going to give 7 times 3, which is 21. 2x all squared is going to be 4x squared, so 4 times 21 is going to give 84x squared. 7 choose 3. I could work out using combinatorics, but I'm just going to be lazy and use my calculator, and this comes out to the value of 35, and 2x cubed is 8x cubed, so 35 times by 8 will give 280. So the last term is 280 x cubed. Just tidy this up a little bit here. There you go. So there is the first 4 terms in ascending powers of x of the binomial expansion. Wicked. Hence determine the coefficient of x in the expansion 1 plus 2x times by 3 plus 2x to the 4. Right. Okay, 3 plus 2x to the 4. If I'm only interested in the coefficient of x, I need to know the constant term and the number term. So really, I only need to do the first 2 terms here. So the first 2 terms are 4 choose 0 of 3 to the 4 times by 2x to the 0, and then 4 choose 1 of 3 to the 3 times by 2x to the 1. There are other terms, but we don't need to use them. So 4 choose 0 is 1. 3 to the 4, I believe, is 81, because that's 9 squared. So this is just going to be 81. And 2x to the 0 is just 1. 4 choose 1, I believe, is 4. 3 cubed is 27. And 2x is just 2x. So what we're asking here is 4 times 2x, which is 8x, times by 27, which will give 216x. So at the very least, this expansion has the first 2 terms of 81 and 216. Right, now if I want the coefficient of x, and I'm multiplying essentially this expansion with this expansion, then the only way I'm going to get an x term is if I multiply the number term by the x term here, and I multiply the x term here by the number term here. So if this is my part B, so the coefficient of x will be 81 times by 14 plus 216 times 1, which is just 216. and that's the coefficient of x. So 81 times 14 plus 216 will give a nice value of 1350x. So the coefficient is 1350.